back home. There's a master plan, so take my hand. You're the son of kings, you're the child of dreams, and you were born to royalty and honor. You're the daughter of queens, your queen Esther's legacy, and you were born of dignity and honor.
Good. Okay, that's good. All right, Mia. I think we're ready. We're ready to go. Let's see. Do I have any water? Any water? No water. Chag Purim Sameach. Happy Purim, everyone. Oh, come on. Okay. Do we have to do this? Okay, everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Okay, we're going to warm up a little bit. Shake out your right hand, and then shake out your right arm. Shake out your left hand, and then shake out your left arm. Shake out your head. Okay, okay, jump 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, then I want you to reach up with one hand like this. Okay, and then I want you to reach up with the other hand like this. Okay, and we're going to pretend we're going to be climbing a ladder. This is a dance, and we go like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, all right, sideways, diagonal, other way. Okay, everybody, show me a peace sign. Woo! Welcome to Purim 5784. It is Purim. It is a hippie Purim, so it's going to be a groovy morning. Thanks for all of you who have come here. Just in case you don't know who I am, I'm Rabbi Coleman Reboy. You didn't notice me because I was wearing glasses. We are going to have a great night. Everybody, great day. Everybody have a seat. Purim is one of these great holidays that we get to celebrate. We get to have a lot of fun, and all the rules are great, and it's all opposites. That's why in the Purim story, not everybody is how they seem. So that's why we wear costumes, or we also wear masks. So it's really funny. So I've got some Purim jokes for you. Would you like to hear some Purim jokes? Would you like to hear some Purim jokes? No, they're actually really bad. So, Bob, come on up here. Come on up here. All right. Does everybody know who Bob is? No, Bob is a goldsmith. Everybody give Bob a hand. Hey, Bob. How you doing? Okay. All right. You're gonna help me with some of these bad jokes. All right. So.
I aim for bad jokes.
Okay. Question: what was Queen Esther's royal gown made of?
Polyester.
Oh. Hey, Bob, knock, knock.
Make sure nobody has any fruit at all, okay? Everything's put back in the kitchen.
Hey,
And
Bob.
aim for the bigger guy, not me.
Bob.
Yes, Rabbi, how can I help you?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Vashti.
Vashti who?
Wash the dishes and I'll give you a Hamantaschen. Okay. They get better. They get better, I promise. Okay.
Are you
Hey,
sure?
Bob, knock, knock.
Who's there, Rabbi?
Heyman.
Hey, man, who?
Hey, man, what are you doing after school?
Not hanging around with you, that's for damn sure.
Wait a minute, do you still go to school? What grade
Night
are you
school.
in?
I'm night school.
Night school? Okay. Great. Bob, why don't you lay on me a knock knock joke?
If I did, I'd be leaving.
Okay.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Stam.
Champ. Champ who?
Thanks, my hair was getting kind of dirty.
Oh. I can tell your hair gets really dirty, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. All right, Bob. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Esther.
Esther who?
Esther, an end to these silly knock knock jokes? But no, there's one more. Hey, so you have to do this in a Yiddish accent. I'll be Yenkel, you be Moishele. Hey,
I need a hint on the
look,
Yiddish accent.
look at the bunch of cows.
You call these people cows? Not a bunch of herd
Not a bunch, herd? Herd what?
of cows.
Herd cows? Of course I heard cows, but they're a bunch. But a bunch. I told you they get better. Okay, let's try this one again.
Better?
Let's try this one
Better?
again. Let's back up. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Esther.
Esther who?
Esther, an end to these silly knock, knock jokes? And the answer is yes. Yay. All right, how about a hand for Bob? Bob?
Thank you for not throwing any fruit or hard vegetables.
Thank you so much. All right. So we're gonna have a great time today. We're gonna hear the Megillah. We're going to have the children, our students sing some songs. We're also going to feature a play that I co-wrote called A Very Groovy 60s Play. Hey, what's up, Morty? I like it, and you're color coordinated too. I like that, and it all matches your kippah as well. Your kippah matches your blue eyes. It's so cute. Okay. Did you bring your script? Oh, okay. I have a script for you. Okay, I do have a script for you. I'll get one for you. No problem. So we're gonna have that. We're gonna feature a Purim play, and we also have a costume contest for the grooviest costume in the sanctuary today. So, top 10 reasons why we celebrate Purim. Okay, number 10, making noise in the shul is actually a mitzvah. Number 9, levity is not reserved for the Levites. Number 8, nobody knows if you're having a bad hair day. You can tell them it's your Purim costume. Number 7, Purim is easier to spell than Hanukkah. Hanukkah, well, whatever. The Festival of Lights. Number 6, you don't have to kosher your home and change all the pots and dishes. Yay. Does anybody do that? We're going on. Number 5, you get to drink. You don't have to build a hut and live and eat outside like Sukkot. And I'm sure that makes a lot of people happy, especially if they have to build our sukkah. Okay, number 4, you get to drink wine and drink wine and drink wine, and you don't ever have to stand for Kiddush. I guess you can't. If you can stand up. Okay, number 3, you won't get hit in the eye by a lulav. Number 2, you can't eat Hamantashen on Yom Kippur, but you can eat Hamantashen today. And do we have Hamantashen today? Woo! Let's hear it for Hamantashen. Hamantashen. Great. Come on up, guys. We've got plenty of seats over here. You guys can sit next to Alex. He'll be good. And the number one top 10 reason for celebrating Purim is Mordecai. 1, Haman. Nothing. Woo! All right. Okay. Are we ready to party? Are we ready to have some Purim? All right. Have some Purim. How do you have some Purim? I'd like some lemon on the side with my Purim. Thank you so much. And leave the ranch on the side as well. we are going to go ahead and almost read the Megillah, but I think to put us in the mood, we're going to have some Purim songs. How's that? Does everybody like to sing? Does everybody like to hear kids sing? Yeah, great. Middle school kids to come on up here. And I'm going to move this back here. Let's see. Great. Okay, some of you do have some song sheets. Come on up here, guys. If you could just stand here. See if we can get 2 rows. I do have our song sheets, guys. Here. Here we go. You guys have song sheets? Does anybody have? Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Ken, Marin. I don't know where he is. Thank you. Yeah. Get your song sheets to Mandy as well. Oh, right there. Good. Great. We have the next drawers right here. All right. I'm just going to reach behind you. Does everybody have a song sheet? Great, great. Does anybody else need a song sheet? Okay, guys. Let's get together a little closer. So everybody can see you on the camera. Okay, we're going to do the first one. I'll see it. Right? 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Sim ve'apartan ve'aturot ve'ashirot ve'alikut shetita tenu Sim ve'apartan ve'aturot ve'ashirot ve'alikut shetita latenu Bayamim hahem Bayamim hahem Basmazer Bayamim hahem Bayamim hahem Bayamim hahem Basmazer Ani for me, Sarah, Oradea, Mashara, Await, Array, la 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 la. My name is Purim and I come great fun and frolic bring. Just once a year I visit you to cheer you with my singing. La 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 la. Oh, Mr. Purim, tell us why we see you only yearly. Please make it once or twice a week because we love you dearly. La 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 la.
two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Purim's here, Purim cheer, 'tis the holiday so dear. Mexican song, bring along, rockers loud and clear. Here go the rockers, rush, rush, rush. Here go the rockers, rush, rush, rush. Here go the rockers, rush, rush, rush. Rocker time is here. Purim, Purim, Hagalabaladundi. Mexico, Russian, Zimmerman, Havanarisha, Rush, Rush, Rush. Havanarisha, Rush, Rush, Rush. Havanarisha, Rush, Rush, Rush.
Nice. Okay, one more. Okay. All right, so we start to take a big breath.
Once there was a wicked, wicked man, and Haman was his name. So he would have murdered all the Jews, but they were not to blame. So, oh, today will murder be. Oh, today will murder be. Oh, today will murder be. And I shall lamentation. Now Esther was a lovely queen of King Ahasuerus. When Haman said he killed himself, oh my goodness, hear us. Oh, today will murder be. Oh, today will murder be. Oh, today will murder be. And I shall lamentation. When Esther speaking to the king of Haman's private mansion, aha, said he, oh no, he won't spoil that intention. Oh, today will murder be. Oh, today will murder be. Oh, today will murder be. And not some lamentation. Though get he shall be this clever Mr. Smarty, and high above us he shall swing in a little tiny party. Oh, today will murder be. Oh, today will murder be. Oh, today will murder be. And not some lamentation of Haman's cruel and unkind ways. This little trick to cure him. And don't forget, we owe him thanks for this lovely feast of Purim. Oh, today will murder be. Today will murder be. Today will murder be. And not some lamentation.
One more time.
Today will murder be. Today will murder be. Today will murder be. And not some lamentation.
Everybody pass your senses or phone keys over to Danny.
Yeah.
Pass it over to Danny.
Here.
Pass it over. Pass it along.
Give me that eye.
Pass it
Here you go.
along. Okay, good. Okay, dirty ups. Okay. Okay, all right. Dirty up. Lila. Oh, thank you.
I'll be
You be the it. And you be the boo. See? Oops. How about another hand for our religious school? Da-da-da. This is for Ken. I don't know where he went. Okay, we are going to hear the Megillah being read, and we have some people who are our readers. Are you all ready? Oh, thank you for that. Great. Okay. So, I happen to have a special state-of-the-art Megillah. It's actually virtual. It's actually invisible, and I've got it right here. Hold on. I got to take the top off. I got to take the tag off. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to roll it up, and I'm going to chant the first part of chapter 1 of Esther. And this is the special cantillation, the special melody that you only chant Megillah Esther with. So we have Torah chant, we have Haftarah chant. See, it's all here. Yes. Okay. Did you guys see it? Okay. It's crazy. Okay, so everybody, there's Torah chant, there's Haftorah chant, there's actually 6 different cantillations that we study and that there are in chanting the Torah and the Hebrew Bible. So this is Esther, and this is what it sounds like. ויהי בימי אחשוורוש, הוא אחשוורוש, המולך מהודו עד כוש, 27 מדינה, במים ההם, כשש המלך אחשוורוש, על כיסא מלכותו, אשר בשושן הבירה, בשנת 3 מלאכו עשה משתה כוסרה ועבדיו כן פרס ומדי הפרטמים ושרי מדינות לפניו בהרותו את אשר כבוד מלכותו ואת עיקר ותפארת גדולה ימים רבים 80 יום. I'm just going to roll this up. I'm just going to tie it together. Here. How many of you actually believed I had a scroll in my hand? It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yes, thank you. All right, let's go ahead and do that. So we are going to start with the chanting of Esther, starting with chapter 1. Come on up. Oh, by the way, there are some rules. This is participatory. I almost forgot. So if everybody has a noisemaker, so the mitzvah is that we have to blot out the name of the villain. Who's the villain in our Purim story? Hey, man, it's Haman. Yes. Okay. So when you hear the word Haman, Lila, we're gonna put this up, and you're gonna, okay. And when I do this, we can stop our shouting. Now, of course, we have some heroes. Who's the hero of the story? Let's say it's Mordecai. So if we hear Mordecai's name, we go, yay, great. And if we hear Esther's name, see if you can do this. We have to go like this. Can we try that? And we can see who the whistlers are out there. Okay, so let's just go for a practice. Okay, Haman. Mordecai. Esther. I think they got it. I think we should start. Okay, and who's up for the first chapter? Yes, let's have all the readers in this pew right here, ready to go. And let's start with chapter 1.
Thank you. King Ahasuerus' great feast. It happened in the days of Ahasuerus, who reigned from Hodu, India, as far as Cush, over 127 provinces. In those days, when the king Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan the capital, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast for his princes and servants, the army of Paras and Madai, the noblemen and princes of the provinces being before him. On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he told Mehuman, Bizetta, Harvona, Bigta, and Avagda, Zetar and Karkas, the 7 chamberlains who served in the presence of King Ahasuerus, to bring Queen Vashti before the king with the royal crown, to show the people and the princes her beauty, for she was beautiful. But the Queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment, which the chamberlains brought. The king became enraged, and his anger burned in him. Memucan said before the king and the princess, Queen Vashti has not sinned against the king only, but also against all the princes and all the peoples who are in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus. If it pleases the king, let a royal commandment go out, and let it be written in the laws of Paras and Madai, so that it not be altered, that Vashti may come no more before King Ahasuerus, and the king will give her queenship to another who is better than her. The king's servants who attended upon him said, "Let beautiful young maidens be sought for the king, and the maiden who pleases the king shall be queen instead of Vashti." And the thing pleased the king, and he did so.
There was a Jewish man in Shushan, the capital, whose name was Mordecai, son of Yair, son of Shimi, son of Kish, and a Benjamite. He brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother. The girl was fair and beautiful, and when her father and mother died, Mordecai took her for his own daughter. When the king's commandment and his decree were heard, and when many young girls were gathered in Shushan, the capital, in the custody of Hegai, Esther was brought to the king's house, to the custody of Hegai, keeper of the women. Mordecai walked before the court of the women's house to know how Esther was doing and what was being done with her. Esther was taken to King Ahasuerus into his royal house in the 10th month, which is the month of Tevet, in the 7th year of his reign. And the king loved Esther more than all the women, and she obtained great favor in his eyes more than all the maidens. And he set the royal crown on her head and made her a queen instead of Vashti. Esther did not reveal her origin and her people, as Mordecai had bidden her. And Esther did as Mordecai told her, just as when she was being brought up by him. In those days, while Mordecai was sitting in the king's gate, the two of king's chamberlains, Bigtan and Teresh, of those who guarded the door, became angry and wanted to lay hands on the king Ahasuerus. The king became known to Mordecai, who told it to Queen Esther, and Esther told the king in Mordecai's name. The matter was investigated, and it was found out, and both were hanged on a tree, and it was written in the book of Chronicles in the presence of the king.
After these things, King Ahasuerus promoted Haman, son of Hamdata the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes who were with him. And all the king's servants who were in the king's gate kneeled and bowed to Haman. Because the king had ordered him to do so. But Mordecai did not kneel and did not bow, but he disdained to lay hands on Mordecai alone. For they told him to which people Mordecai. So Haman thought to destroy all the Jews who lived throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus. The people of Mordecai, in the first month, that is the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is the lot, before Haman. From day to day and from month to month, the 12th month, that is the month of Adar,
Haman.
Haman said to King Ahasuerus, there are certain people scattered and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of your kingdom, and their laws are different from all the people, nor do they keep the king's laws. Therefore, it is no benefit to the king to tolerate them. If it pleases the king, let it be written that they should be destroyed, and I will weigh out 10,000 talents of silver in the hands of those who are in charge of the task of bringing the money into the king's treasury. The king took his ring from his hand and gave it to Haman, son of Hamdata, and the letters were sent by couriers to all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and annihilate all Jews, young and old, little children and women. In one day, namely on the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, and took their possessions.
Mordecai knew
Yay!
of all that had been done, and he tore his clothes and put on sackcloth and ashes, and went out into the center of the city and cried with a loud and bitter cry. He came up to the king's gate, for it was not allowed for anyone to enter the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. In every province where the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning among the Jews, and fasting and weeping and wailing, and many put on sackcloth and ashes. And Esther called Hatak, one of the king's chamberlains, whom he had appointed to attend on her, and gave him a message for Mordecai to learn what this was and why it was. Mordecai told him all that had happened and of the sum of money that Haman had promised to pay to the king's treasury for destroying the Jews. Esther answered Mordecai with the following message: Go and gather together all the Jews who are in Shushan and fast for me, and neither eat nor drink for 3 days, night and day. I and my maidens will also fast, and so I will go into the king, and though it is against the law, and if I perish, I perish. Mordecai went his way and did all that Esther had bidden him to do.
It was on the third day that Esther put on her royal robes and stood in the inner court of the king's house in front of the king's house. The king was sitting on his royal throne in the royal house opposite the gate of the house. When the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, she obtained favor in his sight, and the king held out to Esther the gold scepter that was in his hand. And Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter. And the king said to her, What is your wish, Queen Esther? And what is your request? It shall be given to you, even up to half the kingdom. And Esther said, If it seems good to the king, let the king and Haman come today to the banquet that I have prepared for him. And the king said to Esther during the wine banquet, What is your petition, and it shall be granted? What is your request? Even to half the kingdom, and it shall be done. And Esther answered, My petition and my request is that if I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it pleases the king to grant my petition and to act according to my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them, and I will do tomorrow as the king has said. And Haman went out that day joyful and with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, and that he did not stand or stir for him, he became full of anger against Mordecai And his wife Zeresh and all his friends said to him, "Let a gallows be made, 50 cubits high, and tomorrow speak to the king that Mordecai may be hanged on it, and then go in cheerfully with the king to the banquet." And the thing pleased Haman, and he had the gallows made.
On that night the king could not sleep, and he asked for the book of records of the chronicles to be brought, and they were read before the king. And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Bigthana and Teresh, two of the king's chamberlains, of the keepers of the door, who had sought to lay hands on King Ahasuerus. And the king said, "What honor and dignity have been done to Mordecai for this?" And the king's servants who attended upon him said, "Nothing has been done for him." Haman came, and the king said to him, "What shall be done to the man whom the king delights to honor?" And Haman thought in his heart, "To whom would the king delight to do honor more than to myself?" And Haman said to the king, "For the man whom the king delights to honor, let the royal robe be brought which the king has worn, and the horse that the king rides upon, and on the head on which a royal crown is placed." The king said to Haman, "Hurry and take the robe and the horse as you have said, and do so to Mordecai, the Jew, who sits in the king's gate. Do not omit anything from what you have said." And Haman took the robe and the horse and dressed Mordecai and brought him on horseback through the streets of the city and proclaimed before him, "Thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor."
The king and Haman came to drink with Queen Esther. And the king said to Esther, again on the second day during the wine banquet, "What is your petition, Queen Esther? And it shall be granted to you. And what is your request? And it shall be done, even to half the kingdom." And Queen Esther answered and said, "If I have found favor in your sight, O king, and if it pleases king, let my life be given at my petition, and my people at my request, for we have been sold, and I and my people to be destroyed and slain and to be annihilated. If we had been merely sold for slaves and bondwomen, I would have remained silent, but the oppressor does not care about the king's loss." King Ahasuerus, the king, said to Queen Esther, "Who is he and where is he who dared in his heart to do so?" And Esther said, "The oppressor and the enemy is this wicked Haman." And Haman was struck with terror before the king and queen. And the king rose from the wine banquet in his wrath and went into the palace garden. And Haman stood up to plead for his life with Queen Esther, because he saw that evil was determined against him by the king. And the king returned from the palace garden to the place of the wine banquet. And Haman had fallen upon the couch on which Esther was reclining. And the king said, "Will he even disgrace the queen in my presence in this house?" As the word came out of the king's mouth, Haman's face was covered with shame. And Harvana, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, "There is also the gallows which Haman made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king, standing 50 cubits high in Haman's house." And the king said, "Hang him on it." And they hanged Haman on the gallows which he had prepared for Mordecai. And the king's anger subsided.
Yes. Last chapter. The king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it to Mordecai. And Esther put him in charge of Haman's house. And he wrote in the name of King Ahasuerus and sealed it with the king's ring and sent letters by couriers on horseback. By these letters, the king granted the Jews in every city the right to gather and defend themselves, to destroy, to kill, and to annihilate any armed force of any people or province that might attack them, with their children and women, and to plunder their goods. Mordecai left the presence of the king in royal robes of blue and linen and purple, and the city of Shushan rejoiced and was jubilant. The Jews had light and happiness and joy and honor. And Hamantashen. The Jews who were in Shushan gathered on the 13th of the month and on the 14th. And on the 15th day of the month, they rested and made it a day of feasting and gladness, as the days on which the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which turned for them from sorrow to joy and from mourning to holiday, were to be made days of feasting and joy and of sending portions to one another and gifts to the poor. These days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation, every family, and every province, and every city. These Purim days shall not cease from among the Jews, and their remembrance shall not perish from their descendants.
Wonderful. Okay, how about a hand for all of our readers today? How about a hand for Lucas and Lila Durniak? Hopefully you had breakfast today. We had you working around. Wonderful. Okay, so did everybody get every single word of the Purim story? Okay, because if not, we're going to do it again, but we're going to do it my way. I did it my way. We're going to do a Purim play that I co-wrote, called A Very Groovy Purim Play. So I'm just going to have all of my actors come on up here. We're just going to move things around. And if anybody needs to go to the bathroom or anything like that, you could do that right now. Okay, guys. Okay. All right, so I'm going to stand. You guys are ready? So I'm going to sit over here. So, guys, okay, this is all for you guys. We got some. Lucas and Ben. You guys are up. All right, we'll have our announcers. A very groovy Purim play. How about a hand, guys?
I don't know if this is all.
Where's the other microphone? On the floor? Oh, I have the other microphone. All right, go ahead.
Welcome to the Shushan Persian Playhouse, where the groovy adult wannabe youth group brings you a mixed-up hippie Purim play. We take you now to a modern Shushan, where a royal decree is being posted. You are there.
What's this all about, man?
It's a decree from the groovy king.
Let it be known to all your cool cats of Shushan that two important events have taken place in the palace. First, would you believe that the groovy king has replaced Queen Vashti with the new Queen Esther? Long live the cool queen!
So the king has given Vashti the boot. Too bad, she was really far out, real happening queen. Now she's so far out, she doesn't know what's happening.
Second, the king has promoted Haman the Ashtiv, to the office of right-hand man and in charge of Jews and similar jazz. Haman has ordered, with the authority of the king's ring, that every province on the 13th day of the 12th month, all the Jews will be done away with.
Do away with the Jews? Man, this will get Haman elected to the Hall of Infamy.
He can always become famous as a bad example.
Do away with the Jews? You, gross. Come on, man, let's split. Well, folks, while Haman succeeded in his evil plot to bump off the Jews, the tension mounts as Jewish hearts sink. We turn now to the pad of Mordecai and find Mordecai and Esther shooting the bull.
This Haman dude is bad news. He will do away with us Jews, cuz it's you who see the king. Tell him what's what.
Are you for real? I'm just an ordinary Jewish girl.
Dude, you are the queen.
Did you have to remind me? Or the responsibility, or the pressure?
No joke, cuz of mine. You have to see him. You can't just cop out on your people, man. It's your beauty against Haman's money. Yeah. I see what you mean. Besides, man, the king is no schlemiel. He's never hurt the Jews. He'll foil Haman's foul plot.
But cuz, it will be curtains for me if I made a scene in the throne room and he doesn't hold out his Sultan Scepter to ask for me.
Like I said, you just can't cop out. Do you realize that if Haman has his way, even you won't escape the gallows? Even the swinging queen will be swinging.
Easy, cuz. Don't blow your cool. I'll try to see him.
Esther, you're out of sight. You'll go down in history.
Unless I go up on a rope,
What can I do to help you, cousin?
you can stay loose and you can tell out people to fast for me 3 days and 3 nights.
Gotcha. You can count on us if we can count on you.
I'll be as reliable as an undertaker, the last one to let you down.
Esther has promised to try to see the king, and Mordecai has promised that the people will fast for 3 days and nights. So the plot thickens as the stomach shrink. We now take you to the bedchamber of Ahasuerus himself, and you aren't there.
Thus Mordecai the Jew saved the king's life by informing that the would-be assassins, Bigtan and Teresh, these men,
And how was this Mordecai dude rewarded?
O most generous of kings, O chief of clarity, O guardian of non-scriptitude, O most...
Get to the point, my man.
He was not rewarded.
What a revolting development this is. You mean that this dude,
Mordecai saved my neck and was not rewarded even 1 red shekel?
That's what the royal record book says, boss.
Sheesh. If my head weren't attached, I'd leave it at home with the record book. Hey, man.
You called for me, Chief?
Yeah, man, I need some advice. If you were in my royal shoes, how would you give some covet?
I don't dig you, boss. Your shoes hurt you?
What a dingling. No, man. I mean, what should I do for someone I want to honor?
You want I should suggest something, boss?
This fellow gives new meaning to the word ignoramus. Yeah, man, now you dig me.
He wants to honor someone. He must mean me. Ha ha ha! Okay, boss. I suggest you dress him in real cool in the king's clothes, see? Then have him led around by a noble dude on a horse for the streets of Shushan.
That's groovy. Go, Haman. Do this for Mordecai the Jew.
Curses!
Haman led around Mordecai the Jew, whom he hates because Mordecai refused to bow down to him. But Haman still plans to kill the Jews, and so our tale is as heavy as the horse's lead. Later, after leading Mordecai around, our villain returns home. We now take you to the palace of Haman, where he meets his charming, adorable, loving wife, Zeresh, and you are there.
What's that I smell? Have you been playing around with the horses again?
No, my loving wife. I've been Mordecai, that awful Jew. Was that ever a bad time?
No kidding. Well, baby, that's the way the Hamantash crumbles.
You really know how to hurt a guy. Think of how humiliating this afternoon was for me. I'm only human.
Just barely.
Why do I enjoy hanging around you?
Is that foreshadowing or what? I've been asking myself the same question for years. It's too bad the king's right-hand man got left out today.
But revenge will be mine, loving wife. The gallows are built already, and I personally will see Mordecai do the frog at the end of a rope. We'll see who has the bigger hang-up. Ha ha!
You lose, Haman. Mordecai and the Jews will beat you. I knew I should have listened to my mother.
And now we interrupt this program to give you a little bit of a dance break. So I'm going to call upon Gail, Nathan to come and do a little dance that we call the Frug. And we're all going to have all the students come here and freestyle. Here we go. Stop. Everybody wants to make come on up here. Let's first. So now, all right. All right. Third and answer. Where's the second microphone?
Flash, Esther has just entered the throne. Flash, Esther has just entered the throne room, and the king has held out his Soldan scepter. He has accepted her invitation to come with Haman to dinner. Esther has cooked her best chicken dinner to prepare the king for her plea. But is it true that the way to the king's heart is through his stomach? And you are there.
About a hand for Zoe.
Esther, baby, that was a meal fit for a king.
Have some more chicken. Think of how many starving people there are in the world.
Think of all the starving people at this table. When do I get seconds?
So, oh benevolent, brave, and burping king of non-
Hold on. I didn't hear the word. Could you start that line again?
so oh benevolent, brave, and ruler of the nondescript destitute.
Get to the point, woman.
O king, I never used to eat chicken like this. In fact, my people used to say when a Jew eats a chicken, one of them is sick.
Did I hear the queen say she's Jewish?
You didn't hear her whistling Dixie.
Funny, you don't look Jewish.
You lose, Haman. O king, what would you say about a man who's trying to kill me and my people?
I'd say he's a low-down, yellow-livered fink.
There's your low-down, yellow-livered fink. You're not fit to eat with the pigs.
Guards, take this fink away. To the gallows with him.
So you just said you're not. I am too. Oh yeah, you did it, cuz.
Well, cuz I had a little help from you and your empty stomach.
You, Mordecai, will replace Haman as my right-hand man in charge of anti-Semitism.
Groovy. Oh, happy ending.
Look outside. Swinging Haman is really swinging. He's a real gone cat.
He certainly looks uptight. Hang in there, Haman.
Haman, death is nature's way of telling you to slow down, man.
Happy.
Y'all.
Everybody come on up here. Let's have a group bow. This is a great time for anybody who wants to take a picture. Okay, this is a good time to take a picture. Okay, peace signs, everybody. Everybody. Happy Purim, everyone. How about another hand for our players here? Okay, awesome. Okay. We have just like Hanukkah, we have a costume contest, and you will get an appropriate thing to you'll get an appropriate present if you win. Appropriate for Purim, absolutely appropriate for Purim. So, does anybody want to come up and show off their costume? All right, let's have our contestants line up over here. Okay, and I need a couple of judges. Who's a judgmental person here? I can see a whole bunch, so maybe let's have at least 2 or 3. Max, do you want to show off? You want to be a judge? Wait a minute. Come over here. Okay. Why do you tell everybody why you want to be a judge?
Because I want to see people in costume.
Good enough. Okay. You're a judge. Come on over here. I need another couple of judges. You guys? Seriously? Big Ton and Teresh, come on up here. Okay. What are your names?
Maya.
Do you guys know each other? Are you friends? You're friends with Lila? Is she a good friend? Is she nice? Does she give you presents all the time? Did you hear that? There was a little pause there. They said that they want you to be more generous and give them more presents. That's what they said. Are you happy that you're here? Is this your first Purim? Awesome, guys. Okay, let's hear it for our judges. Stand over here. Max, why don't you stand over here? Okay, you guys are the tie-dye group. I love it. Okay, so who's our first contestant? We'll just go from here. Who's in line first? So, you're a group? Okay. Excellent. Okay, come on up. Okay. Yay. Let's hear it for the groovy teachers. Nice. Thanks. Thank you, guys. You can go back. Well, you can stand over here. That's fine. I know there's. Okay, who's next? Come on up. What? And who are you supposed to be?
Hey man, what are you talking about?
Let me. I got to ask you. I have some beard envy here. How did you grow? How long did it take you to grow that beard? Okay. It might need a little trim here and there, but that's okay. And it matches your hair perfectly. How about another? So be all Haman-y. Be a Haman. Okay. Great. Wonderful. Huh? Because they're judges, it's okay. Have a stand over there. Okay, come on up here. Okay, we have Lucas. Okay, Lucas, strut your stuff. How about a hand for Lucas strutting his stuff? Okay. Great. I like the shark tie-dye. Okay, Mandy, come on up. Who's next? The two of you? See, teachers, we have some competition. Group competition. Hey, okay, show your stuff. Okay, do some strutting. Okay. I don't know about that. I don't know. Okay, I think they could probably show their strut a little bit better, but okay. So, come on up, Ben. Ben, how you doing? Give me some skin. Ooh, let me show you how to do it. Okay. Put out your hand. Okay. Do this. You got to do that. Try that. Let me try it again. Put your hand out. Okay, your turn. All right. How about a hand for Ben? Okay. All right. And is there anybody else? Oh, guess what, everybody? You know, Elvis has left the room. Elvis has entered the sanctuary. Come on in. How's it going? So who are you supposed to be?
I think we all know who I am.
Yeah. So you look like Elvis. You definitely look like the king. I like your hat there, and your golden scepter was really wonderful. Very nice. Okay. So King, can you strut your stuff? Okay, judges, come on up here. Okay, so right here. Okay, so you've got some competition here, huh? Okay, so let's see. So our first. It would be who's your favorite, okay? But let's make sure that we know all our contestants are. King. Yay. Okay. The teacher groupies. Okay. The student groupies. Okay. Haman. Okay. The tie-dye Cape Cod shark. Lucas. Okay. And the Taunton tie-dye man himself, Ben. Okay, guys, coming up here. Okay, so do we have a winner? Come on up here. See, the camera's right there. There are 7 billion people. Only maybe 6 billion. It's okay. So the pressure is on. You got to make the right choice. Okay. Why don't you hold this in the middle? Okay. So, you guys want to confer a bit? You guys know who you checked out? You guys know? Okay, who's the spokesperson?
Movie teachers.
Okay, great. Let's hear you guys strut your stuff again. So you get a great present. You know, it's usually for one, but you might have to split this one. So it's a. So have you ever heard of Lush? You ever heard of that store called Lush? Yeah. Okay. So I have for you guys a special Purim present. So this is what it is. What's called a soap bomb, and you put it in your bathtub, and it gets all fragrant and colorful, and you sweet smelling, and you all come out clean. I don't know how you're going to do this. Stacy, why don't you pull it out and show us the special Purim soap bomb? Oh gosh, I was supposed to give that out for Hanukkah. I'm really sorry. Okay. All right, great. You guys can keep out. How about another hand? Great. Okay. You guys, how about another hand for all the contestants who were brave enough to come out here? What? The Lush packing peanuts. You like to eat the Lush packing peanuts. They taste like what? Like corn. Okay. I'm going to take your word for it. I'm not going to eat any soap peanuts. But thank you. You guys can have a seat, and we're going to go downstairs soon for our project. Stacy, is this enough time for everybody? Okay, great. I just want to thank our tech person and Temple President Mia for being there. How about a hand? How about a hand to all of our Megillah readers? And how about a hand to all of the people, all of our kids who sang today, our religious school, and all of our actors today. Yeah. And an important thing to remember about the festival of Purim is it's the only book within the Hebrew Bible that does not mention the name of God. Did you know that, Amit? Well, I think you could say Hamakom is also, that could be another word for God, but God is not mentioned. What? Yes, God is wearing a costume, and that's a wonderful thing. So even if God's name was not mentioned in the entire Megillah, we know that God was guiding the hand of Mordecai and Esther, and God is always behind the scenes, even though we can't see God, maybe we can't perceive God, but that's the important thing about Purim, to remember that God is always there behind the scenes, helping us out, rooting for us, cheering for us, and all wishing us all the best. So I'm going to wish all of you a happy Purim, Chag Purim Sameach, and let's go downstairs and have our Mishloach Manot gift bag project and some Hamantashen as well. Thanks, everyone. Hey, how about a hand for Rabbi Coleman Reboy? Thank you.